I am Pontius Calvinus, centurion of the Praetorian Guard, and you two are under arrest. By whose orders? Asked Silus. By the direct orders of the co-emperor Publius Septimius Geta Augustus. What a surprise, muttered Silus under his breath. I reckon we can take them, said Attius, in a whisper deliberately loud enough for the Praetorians to hear. Come on, said Silus. Let's go with the lovely men. He dismounted and surrendered his weapons, and Attius reluctantly did the same. 2 Praetorians grabbed each of them and escorted them roughly into the city, not to a soft bed with a large bier, but a damp cell with a stone bench. They sat in the prison and stared at the walls. There was a variety of graffiti scratched into the brickwork. Tertius buggers eunuchs. Verica is the best whore in Eboracum. A crude picture of a phallus with the words handle with care next to it. Crotus shat here. There was indeed a pile of feces in the corner, filling the cell with a fetid smell. Silus put his head in his hands and softly said, Fuck. The door to the cell flew open, and 4 well-built Praetorians entered. Calvinus, the centurion, came in next. Stand! He barked. Silus and Attius looked at each other and shrugged, then got wearily to their feet. Gaius Sergius Silus, Lucius Attius, you are both charged with desertion and disobeying orders. You are found to be guilty of this crime. You are to be taken from here to the parade ground and stoned to death. Men, take them. Before Silus could say a word, each of his arms had been taken in a firm 2-handed grip by the Praetorians, and Attius and he were being dragged from the cell. What the fuck is this? Yelled Silus at the centurion's back as he marched in front of them. But Calvinus continued to stride forwards. This is bullshit, cried Attius. Fetch Oclatinius, demanded Silus. He'll vouch for us. The guards exchanged worried glances at the mention of the old man's name, but Calvinus did not turn and continued his march to the exercise ground beyond the city walls. Arrayed in one line were a dozen Praetorian guards, immaculately turned out as always. Before them was a pile of fist-sized rocks. 2 posts had been sunk into the ground. Silus and Attius were dragged to them, and their hands were tied behind them on the other side of the solid wood. All their humour had vanished like a puff of smoke. The reality of the danger hit Silus like a blow to the gut. Wait! He cried. I demand a hearing with my commanding officer. We were acting on the orders of the Emperor himself. Gag them! Ordered Calvinus, and strips of cloth were forced into their mouths and tied behind their heads. Silus struggled and roared, but his words were muffled. Attius looked over at him with a helpless look in his eyes. Could this really be the end? After everything they had been through? The battles, the fights, the torture, and the escape from imprisonment and near execution. To die at the hands of their own side purely for doing their duty. It was so unfair as to be laughable. Take a stone each, ordered Calvinus. The guardsmen reached down and each picked up a rock. Some hefted them thoughtfully, some smiled sadistically, some looked sombre. Silas's eyes darted back and forth, looking for an escape, a saviour. His heart raced, and a cold sweat dripped down his brow. First 2, throw! 2 guardsmen stepped forward and hurled a stone each at Silus and Attius from a distance of 10 yards. The missile headed towards Silas's head, but he ducked, and the rock hit the wood behind him. Attius took his in the gut, letting out an oof that was muffled by his gag. Some of the guardsmen teased the fellow who had missed and mocked Attius's reaction. Others looked on.